Stay classy, San Diego, and get some sleep. 16 innings of a marathon Dodger-Padre affair in their wild card battle. Plus the O's looking to end their losing streak by picking on Shohei Ohtani. Big performance on a small diamond for Little League phenom Gavin Weir. Another no-hitter. We're going to tell you why his team, though, will have to rely on his bat from now on. And quarterback decisions abounding in the NFL. Lawrence and Bridgewater get the nod, while the Pats and Niners keep us waiting.
A thing just popped up on my TV, and it said, "Are you still here?"
No-hitter for Gavin Weir.
Hi, my name's Gavin Weir. I just threw a no-hitter in the Little League World Series, and you're watching SportsCenter.
Okay, young man.
Also, he's cooler.
Hit him with the Weir. We're properly caffeinated-ish.
Kind of.
SportsCenter AM, Nicole Briscoe, Randy Scott alongside. So pulled it in the parking lot this morning.
Real life.
Real like 4 a.m. East Coast, as they got the last out in San Diego, because Dodgers-Padres is a specific brand of crazy baseball.
It is never ending, or as you said, sometimes like the overserved friend out in public. You know that this is like an epic showdown. If we start the highlight at the top of the 15th, Daniel Camarena is the 9th pitcher for the Padres. He's on the mound. Game tied at 1. You got runners on second and third. And Billy McKinney is going to at least bring one in. Hard hit to left center. Chris Taylor scores, so it's a 2-1 lead for the Dodgers. By the way, it's the first time they scored since the 8th inning. I remind you, we're in the 15th. The next batter's Trey Turner. And Turner wants to get jiggy with it because Will Smith is going to come in to score now. And the Dodgers, Ben, they are pumped because they are now up 3-1. We go to the bottom of the 15th. Fernando Tatis Jr. at the plate. The Padres have literally not recorded a hit in 9 innings. A full baseball game. Let's balk, because that will move the runners from second to third and avoid the possibility of any stolen signs. Look, none of it is going to matter because Tatis Jr. is gone. Gone for the 35th home run of his season. He leads the National League. That ties the game at 3. That's the 4th hit for the Padres, and again, their first since the 5th inning. So we go to the 16th because each team still has 3 runs. That is a tie ball game, never ending. A.J. Pollock gets a turn at the plate after, how many pitchers? A lot of them. How many players? Even more than you can imagine. And Pollock is like, well, I saw what Tatis Jr. did, and I want to do the exact same. Gone, left center, 2-run homer. That makes it 5-3. Look, this is the good news. That brought it to an end. It had to go to the bottom of the inning. Nothing happened there. So 5-3 is the final in 16 innings. It was a really long game. And now the teams get 17 hours away from each other before we get Max Scherzer and Yu Darvish on the mound to meet up. This one, though, goes down as the longest game in 2 years. It was almost 6 hours. The Padres, like I said, they went a 9-inning span, like a full normal game, without a hit before that Tatis home run in the 15th. LA, they intentionally walked 8 batters. That's the most in a game since 1955. And 47 of the 52 possible players, they checked in. The Padres literally ran out of position players and had to use 2 pitchers as pinch hitters. How do you feel if you didn't get into that game?
Well, I'll tell you, you can listen to the excitement, elation after the game. A lot of high fives, maybe a couple beer showers, and guys really just on adrenaline, and just finding a way to win a ball game. It should count as 2. Unfortunately, it doesn't. But I can't say enough about these guys. We just didn't quit.
Should count as 2.
All right, let's go from
a
great baseball game to a losing baseball team of late. The Orioles have lost 19 straight, and now they have to deal with that man with that record since July 1st. 5-0, Shohei Ohtani with an ERA about $1.50. And his first pitch of the game, Cedric Mullins, the seeker, gone. On a bit of a Harry Potter kick. I don't know if you could tell, but that's gone. His 7th leadoff home run of the season. It's tied for the second most in the season in Orioles history, behind Brady Anderson's magical 1996. And then it's Anthony Santander. Take that to the bank.
Yeah, Hufflepuff.
Santander, that's straight Gryffindor love there. Ohtani, first time allowing 2 home runs in a game in his career, and in this case, the second in the first inning for the Orioles. And then in the 4th, Ohtani said, I feel like the homers were a bit of an ambush. I need to make better pitches. DJ Stewart in the 4th. Orioles cut it to 6-4 because the Angels did have a winning effort behind Shohei Ohtani, who had 5 innings and 4 earned. A streak of 6 straight quality starts is over. So we go bottom 8. O's have cut it to a 1-run game. Ramon Urias with the bases loaded. He's browsing. Jake Petrichka walks him. Joe Madden's not pleased. Later in the inning, new pitcher James Hoyt. Bases loaded jam of a tie ball game. Kelvin Gutierrez owes take a 7-6 lead. Next batter, Austin Hayes. He's going to go ahead and swing it. I'm going to try it the old-fashioned way. 2-run double off the wall and left. The O's get 5 in the 8th. They haven't had 10 runs since June 29th. 10-6 winners. They win. And they had a little sage burning to cleanse the aura pregame.
It was Austin Wins, actually, who really had the idea. He bought the sage online, overnighted it. And he and I just walked around the ballpark and just saged everything we possibly could.
Sitting in my office, and I walk outside, and there was an aroma coming into the hallway, and I saw Mancini and his mustache, and asked him, "Are we smoking some different type of cigarettes, or what's happening in our clubhouse?" And then he explained it to me, and I think sage tomorrow. Who knows?
That is real sound. There's no sarcasm.
All right. Whew. All right, go back to the top of the 4th. The Orioles were down 6-2. They had a 13% chance to win, but there's history on their side. Did you know? Baltimore becoming the second team to snap a 19-game losing streak against the Angels, because the 1975 Tigers did it with an 8-0 win over the then California Angels.
Sorry, Mancini and his mustache literally made me snort.
The different kind of cigarettes got to me. That made me chuckle. Let's go to the Little League World Series, where this man continues to dominate. Gavin Weir in South Dakota taking on California. The South Dakotans trying to stay perfect on their trip to Williamsport. And, okay, we got a no-hitter through 4 for Weir. He got Grant Hayes. So through 4, they go 6 scheduled. In the 5th, Weir back to work. Kaishu Harrison out looking. And then Gavin Crew. And that is pitch number 65. Mike Gorset's going to go ahead and talk to his ace on the mound here. 65 pitches is a benchmark. Listen to Coach.
Listen to me. You're not coming out of this game. You're going to shove it right now, okay? We got 4 outs to go, and we're in the championship game with Seaver, okay? You be my horse right now, give me 4 more outs, and then you hit me a bunch of home runs the rest of the way out. You understand? Let's go right now. Let's go.
Hey, Gavin, we heard what your manager, Mike Gorset, said when he came to the mound. What was your stance on that, and did you want to stay in?
I wanted to stay in. I thought he was taking me out.
Well, it was the right move for Coach Gorset, because, all right, after the visit, it's Christian Chavez, and gets him with the fastball. No-hitter through 5. 29 Ks in the Little League World Series is the most this year. It's actually 12 more than the next closest pitcher there for Weir. So a no-hitter to start perhaps the final inning with a 1-run lead. And remember, he started a combined no-hitter a few days ago. Trying to button this one up against Brandon Perez and Dyson Miyake. And then the last batter, Xavier Navarro, just looking at the curveball. 132 batters faced since district, and he struck out 114 of them. He's allowed 1 hit since then. 1-0 is the win. The interviews with Ashley Brewer. Is this your favorite no-hitter?
I like the second one because it was a more important game. We really needed to win that game against a really good team. That team was not easy. They hit the ball, they can pitch, they had a good pitcher on the mound. We just came through in some big spots.
I know that you've heard the comparisons between yourself and Red Sox pitcher Chris Sale. The Twitter comparisons out there are amazing. But I want to know, is there a baseball player that you specifically compare yourself to and want to be like someday?
I like Mike Trout. He's probably the best baseball player I've ever seen in my life. I want to be like him. Pitching, I guess I'm kind of like Chris Sale. I mean, I could kind of want to be like him, except not have Tommy John surgery every year.
We're going to talk to Gavin. We're going to talk to Gavin later in this show. Look at the 8-start run here. We picked out one of Chris Sale's best 8-start spans in his career. He allowed just 1 run in 45 innings, struck out 81 batters. Weir in 8 starts since districts, 1 hit allowed, no runs. He struck out 114 of the 132 batters he's faced. Far from done. As we said, we will speak to the man himself. He's going to join the show in the 9 a.m. Eastern hour. So call your friends.
See if he can tear apart, I don't know, DeGrom.
We'll talk about Tommy John, perhaps.
Yeah.
Sounds like it's going to be a fun time. He's a good interview.
In a shocking turn of events, Randolph and Jacksonville, the guy that they picked number 1 overall is actually going to be their guy come week 1 of the regular season. The Jaguar quarterback job belongs to Trevor Lawrence. The decision was between Lawrence and Gardner Minshew. Head coach Urban Meyer said he just wanted his rookie to earn the spot. The rookie said this.
I'm really excited for the opportunity. It doesn't really change anything, though. Still got the same task in front of us. Got to get a lot better individually, as a team, as an offense. So just looking forward to going to work this week. You know, it brings some clarity, which is nice going forward, but it really doesn't change much. But yeah, I'm really excited for the opportunity, grateful for it.
We say good morning now to our Louis Riddick. Now that the worst kept secret in all of Jacksonville and perhaps the NFL is actually out in the open, the big unknown here is how Lawrence is going to fare with the roster that's around him. So what's your biggest concern?
It's about protection and confidence, Nicole, because that's what really drives a young quarterback's success early on. And how do you protect him? You have to be able to run the football and have him get the ball out quickly, in the passing game. And right now they haven't really been able to do either of those effectively. They bring back all 5 starters for 2021 that they had in 2020. Same offensive line coach George Warhoff as well. And in the game Monday night that we did down in New Orleans, look, they were missing 3/5 of their starting offensive line, center, left guard, left tackle. And quite honestly, the New Orleans Saints defensive line just chewed them up in the running game. They could not get anything going in the run game, and they hit Trevor over and over and over again in the passing game. So they better get that squared away right away, because if it turns into a one-dimensional type of offense where you're putting everything on a young quarterback that is still trying to learn an offense that is combining a number of different philosophies and trying to find their identity. You have Darrell Bevell, the offensive coordinator, who's one philosophy. Urban Meyer, who comes from college, who's a different philosophy. So when he's trying to figure all that out, they're trying to figure all that out, and the offensive line isn't protecting him, and they can't run the football. You know what that's going to lead to. That's going to lead to a quarterback who's going to have a lot on his shoulders, take a lot of hits, and that's a surefire way to have his career start off in a way that you don't want it to.
He's also a guy who's already calling his lack of production in terms of points this preseason frustrating. But like you said, he's been pressured 37% of his dropbacks so far this season. Let's switch to another rookie quarterback, because Mac Jones, in Cam Newton's absence, is making the most of his time as QB1. Yeah. And I found it interesting. Kendrick Bourne said that the rookie makes the Patriots a real team. So who do you think should start week 1?
Yeah, look, I've always said this in the same way that Bill always says it. Whoever earns it should start week 1. And look, they don't owe Cam Newton anything, although Cam really has taken a huge leap from his first year in this system to his second year, and you expected that to happen because he's more comfortable in the system. He's had a full offseason and a full training camp. But I think Bill Belichick runs his football team about as organically and as objectively as anyone maybe in the history of pro football. He doesn't care where he gets his production from as long as he gets it and he can get it consistently. And that's the thing that I think, look, Mac Jones, people kind of tried to downplay the fact that was one of his strengths. Consistency, the ability to make smart decisions, put the ball where it needs to be put. People kind of downplayed that because so many quarterbacks coming out in this draft were athletic and exciting from an off-schedule standpoint, the ability to make plays with their legs, and he didn't do that. But that is the kind of thing that Bill covets the most, because consistency is what wins football games. Up and down performance does not. And if Mac has given them that, on top of being able to provide big plays, then he's going to be that starter regardless of what Cam has done in the past or what have you. And the big factor is this. If Cam's not available, and he hasn't been this week because of some issues with the COVID protocol, that's how Wally Pipp stories come into play. And it's happened before in the NFL, and it could happen in this situation too.
Newton is eligible to return to practice today, and we want to remind you the Patriots play the Giants on Sunday. Thank you, but for now, because we're not done with Louis Riddick quite yet, but is Kyler Murray done with the preseason? Why Louis says the answer to that should be a hard no. Find out why later on SportsCenter AM.
Far from done with talk of the quarterbacks. Teddy Bridgewater will be QB1 for the Broncos, but what's going on in San Francisco? We're going to go over the quarterback decisions that remain to be decided around the NFL, and more on Gavin Weir's incredible pitching performance, where he ranks all-time among the best to grace the Williamsport, PA stage. And he was almost a hero for the Padres last night, but there's a possible future title for Fernando Tatis Jr. this season. It's the MVP. What does he make of his own chances in that battle?